After you've cut your template, you're going to place it on a pre-rolled slab. Make sure to put it towards the edge so you minimize waste. And then over here, I have a much larger piece that I can then use to attach to my slab when I'm ready. Using a pin tool and holding it straight up and down, you are going to trace your template. Now I'm not pushing all the way down into my clay. I'm sort of just using it to draw a line so I can go back and cut a perfect square. Like so. There are 3 different cutting tools you can use. This one's a small blade, a butter knife, or we have these plastic blades. And all you're gonna do is go back where your lines are and cut all the way through your clay. I'm choosing to use the butter knife just because it has a bigger surface area. I can cut a little bit faster. It is pretty important to make sure you're holding your knife straight up and down so that you're not cutting on an angle. Because once you attach your 4 sides together and to the base, you'll want them to line up pretty evenly. So now I'm going to take my slab with my sketch plan, and this image is going to represent my love for art. I'm going to put the image on my slab. So here's a little trick. If you like your sketch and you put a lot of effort into your sketch, what you can do is take over your slab. See, my slab ends here and here, so I know my image is smaller. Take your pin tool and you can poke holes to create guides into your slab. Now I'm not pushing down far, I'm just pushing enough that a little circle shows up on my slab clay. You don't want it to go all the way through your clay. But then this way I can go back, sort of connect the dots, and my image will show up how I've already drawn it from my sketch. It's a little hard to see in the video, but you can see that there are dots throughout this piece. So now I'll go back and connect the dots, etching into my clay. Even if you're thinking of building out of your slab with coils, sometimes it's nice to combine the two or to etch first so that you have a complete guide on where you might be laying your coils. And don't forget to go back and add any detail lines. So I'm going to go back into the tip of my paintbrush and add some texture lines to show the bristles. And I'm going to add little lines into the metal band of the paintbrush as well. To build out with coils on your slab, you'll need to, first I drew my design on here, so this is a figure skate. Next, you're going to need to make some coils. So you're going to want to start with like little pieces of clay. Roll out some coils. And then you need to scratch to attach and add slip. So that'll look something like this. So if I'm going to place this piece, you can measure first and cut where you need to. Around the edge here, I need to scratch on my piece of clay slab. There's many different tools you can use to use this. You can use a fork. And then I also need to scratch on my slab, my coil. This is when I feel a fork is a little bit easier than a pin tool. Then you will add slip here with a paintbrush, and then, or your finger tends to work a little bit easier, you have more control. Attach and cut your piece of clay. As you can see, I did not put slip on there because I'm going to be taking this guy back off, but that is how you will attach a coil. All right, now I have added my coils along the outside of my image. Now you could leave it like that depending what image you have and what effect you're going for, but now I'm going to fill in. I've already scratched the inside, and I scratched the inside of the coil, and I'm going to put slip all inside and fill this in with coils as well. All right, so next I will take my coil that I've already scratched and start to fill in my skate. I'm going to cut this piece off a little early just because it seems to be moving my outside coil, and make a smaller coil to fit inside. There. So now I have a smaller coil, scratch to attach. I already have slip inside here, and place the smaller coil inside. You can use your pin tool as well to kind of push things into place. And lastly, I just need to fill in this section. So I've rolled out another coil, scratch to attach, and then lay it inside. And actually, since that's on an angle, I'm going to cut my coil into a point so that it'll sit nice in there. Cut off my extra, and repeat that until the entire skate is full. So that is a skate filled with coils. Now, obviously, I don't want to leave the look of these coils. If you're doing something that's textured and that's fitting, you can, but where a skate is smooth, I would want to go back with a blending tool and smooth this out. So there's different ways to blend your coils together. You can use this rubber piece, and it's movable, and you can use it to push your clay and smooth it out. Or there's this plastic blending tool that will do the same. Got a little bit more control with this one. Or my favorite is to just use your fingers. And you're gonna be careful that when you're pushing your coils together, you're not making your image larger and larger and larger as they squish down. You want to keep it a little 3D. So you're going to smooth out all of your coils until you get the smooth texture that you want. Make sure we're not losing that shape. Now I have a smooth skate that is coming out of my slab. And I do want to go back and add some details to it where there would be leather pieces that meet the skate and the tongue, and go back and add some laces to my skate as well.